I hope everybody can picture the world with nuclear bombs floating overhead and blowing up big cities and everything, and big clouds of dust. These big clouds of dust that will put us back into the ice age. I don't know how many of you's got water and Spam, in your basement to hold you over in case there is a nuclear war. This president, I'm telling you right now, he's going to get us into a war of all wars. He doesn't have a clue what's going on. And if you look at how many lies that he told, if you have children, you know when your kids are lying to you, they can't look you straight in the eye, they kind of turn away. And if they do look you straight in the eye, they have that blank look in their face. That's the way I see this president making speeches about Syria. He's going to get us into a third world war. It's going to be absolutely sad. You think China, which has 1 billion people, they could just show up on the beaches and overrun this country. So you think China, and you think Russia, and you think, the other countries in the Middle East that are supported by, Russia, you think they're going to let us just go over, pull our ships over, and, lob a few missiles over into Syria and say, okay, we taught you a lesson and leave? This is really sad. And if Congress and senators go along with this, that's even sadder. The only reason I can imagine that they'll go along with this for the president if the president promised something. And then it comes down to greed. That these senators are so greedy of wanting things for their state and everything that they'll put that at risk, compared to this country getting into a third world war. Just think it out. Don't you ever play Risk or anything? Any of these board games about taking over the world? And if you don't think, that this president is going to get us into a war, what happened the first day we all talked about Syria? All the other things went away. Benghazi, the IRS scandal, the NSA scandal, and there's too many more to talk about. And every time, you know your kids. Do you look at your kids when they're lying? You know they're lying. They look away from you. They stumble for their words. That's what the president does. If he's not in front of a teleprompter, he can't look you straight in the eye. He can't look at your nation and say, look, we need to go in there because they killed 1,500 people with chemical weapons, and we're going in there and we're setting everything right. We're doing what this world agreed on, no chemical. He can't do that. He kind of looks away at you like, gee, maybe we should do this. But if we do this, everybody's paying attention. Even Fox News, I'm so surprised, that they're, not talking about the Benghazi, which is coming up, at a year. So here we can't even really find out who, in a few months, who really, released the chemical weapons. We know that there's chemical weapons. Nobody is denying that. But any kid could make it in, with a few ingredients in their basement. So you don't know if it's really the president or if it's one out-of-control general or what. Maybe if they really had respect for us, the president of Syria would say, look, I don't want to get into a World War III over this, but, it's still my country. I'm going to investigate and look into who actually released this chemical, and we'll deal with them appropriately. But that's not happening. I'm telling you, we're in a lot of trouble. And when you people start seeing the missiles, you'll fly overhead, from just an out of control, what really comes down to is that maybe going in the future, maybe just the president shouldn't have all this power. I mean, he's walking around, with a guy next to him all the time with the little black box that could release missiles. Maybe that's too much power for any one person to have. Because if they're the devil and they're trying to convince you of something, this guy did a very good job, the president. I think with all the lying that he does, that he's not capable of making a good decision because he doesn't even know what the truth is anymore. He tells you so many lies. Oh, we're going to look into Benghazi. Oh, we're going to look into the IRS. Oh, we'll go look into the NSA. It was nothing but lie after lie after lie. And you people accept it. I can't believe it. Okay? The American people that go work every day and hope for the best for their children and everything, okay, is believe it. Well, let me tell you, you dopes, you saps. It's unbelievable. And just one last warning, the next time election comes around, okay, your biggest problem in this country is look at how many deadheads you have in the Senate and Congress. Okay? People that have been there for 20, 30 years. They do not have a clue what's going on every day for the American family. Democrats, Republicans, I want to tell you, the best thing you could do is anytime, anyone along party lines, that if you feel it's that important, okay, after 2 terms, we have the power. They're never going to change it. Okay? The Senate and Congress is never going to change the rules that they can only limit themselves to 2 terms. They're just not going to do it. It's just too cushy of a job. And then with everything that they could do for their families, okay, it's just too cushy for them and their families. But you and I have the power. Vote them out. After 2 terms, regardless of how good they are or how good you think they are, vote somebody else in along their party lines. And you will see, we'll start developing into a better country than we are now. And as everything else, God bless the troops, especially these days, because this president could be putting them in harm's way. So please say a prayer for them. Take your Holy Bible out. Read it with your children. Christianity might still save this world. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye now, Jimmy.